very pleased to be here with this morning's interview. It's Lonnie Briley, one of my favorite stories coming into this year's Kentucky Derby. And happy Easter, Lonnie. Good to see you this morning.
Oh, I'm just fine, thank you.
Want to talk to you a little bit, of course, about Coal Battle. When you guys arrived here about 2 weeks ago, you were quoted as saying, when you acquired this horse, you were looking for a racehorse, not a Derby horse. So how did this horse end up becoming the latter?
Well, he broke his maiden first time out, and then I went to Kentucky Downs with him, and he ran in a juvenile. It was $1 million race going a mile on the turf, and he got in trouble out the gates. A horse kept bumping him, and then the jockey took him back and then come back and made one run, and he was probably 18 lengths out of it down the stretch, and he come running and then galloped past the winners 5 or 6 lengths, and right there it kind of shook me and said, it's more to this horse, and so then, I went to the Jean Lafitte and he won that, and I went to the Springboard Mile and he won that, and then I went to Oakland with him and the Smart Jones, and he won that, and then he went to Rebel, and I said, well, he just kept climbing the ladder. So, and then we ran an Arkansas Derby and got in a little trouble there. The jockey got a little nervous and pulled the trigger too soon, but he come out of it good, still ran third, So we giving him a chance, and see what happens.
That's all you need is a chance. And following that run when he was third in the Arkansas Derby, you were quoted as saying that he maybe came into the race a little bit short. You got 3 works out of him, potential that he needed 4. How have you tweaked his training style coming into this Derby?
Well, he's been working hard over here. Every week he works, and he comes back good and he's happy and everything, so in the Arkansas Derby, he was a little fresh the day of the race, and I had to saddle him on the walk, and I never had to do that before. And then when the 2 front runners went out there and he was sitting third, I was kind of happy with that, with the fractions. But it's just when they started backing up, the jockey moved him, and it was just too soon.
Your first, some of your first graded stakes starts have came with this horse. We're going to take a look back at the Rebel Stakes, and this was a big-time performance with this horse. As you mentioned, he just has kept climbing the class ladder. Take me through your thoughts with this race here.
On the Rebel, well, when they broke, he always breaks good, and you can kind of place him where you want him, and then the speed horses went out, and when they went 45 and a half, I said they're going to back up, and he'll be right there, and there's another horse at the 7/16 hole bumped him a couple of times, so the rider went on head forward with him and then moved him, and almost moved him a little early, but he went around the horses, went to the front, and caught the lead horse and ran a good race. He went by right at a couple of lengths, and we was proud of him. I think that was one of his better races in the Rebel.
Absolutely. I have it earmarked as Tuesday, the potential for his next breeze. Of course, probably some of that is weather pending. Just take me through what you're expecting from this next work for him, something maybe that's a little bit more serious or something like a maintenance type of a drill.
More of a, maintenance. He's not a big workhorse, he kind of saves himself. And, I can tell a rider to work 101, 102, and he'll work 102 and then come back bucking and kicking to the barn. So, he's kind of a clown. And then this last work, he worked 101 and 1, which kind of surprised me. Usually he doesn't go that fast. And, but I kind of expect the same thing, and he'll gallop out strong. He always does, and then when he pull him up, he starts squealing and kicking up, like, ha, did what I wanted, but he's always took care of himself. He's never been a big workhorse, You're not going to gut him out and cripple him, he'll protect himself, so.
All right, well, best of luck coming up here these next couple of days, Lonnie. It's a pleasure to have you in Coal Battle here on the backside. Looking forward to keep watching him, and I'm definitely going to catch up with you with that post position draw coming up on Saturday.
Okay, thank you very much. Y'all been so wonderful.
Lonnie Briley.